where the boundary between survival and the abyss is as fragile as a silken thread. A world of untold danger awaits. Today, we unveil the secrets of the most terrifying maritime disasters, grueling professions, and insane engineering feats that defy the laws of nature. From the frozen mud of Siberia to the vertical cliffs of the Andes, these stories redefine human courage. Before we dive into the unknown, tell us in the comments which country you are watching from. If you seek the extraordinary, hit the subscribe button now and join our journey. The countdown begins. Nature's wrath knows no mercy off the treacherous coast of Norway. In March 2019, at the crack of dawn, total engine failure left this massive ship at the mercy of a violent storm. Drifting dangerously close to jagged reefs, hundreds of passengers watched as rescue helicopters plucked them from the deck. The vessel hung over the rocks like a steel pendulum over a grave. In the pale northern light, the sea seemed to demand a sacrifice. Can human engineering ever truly conquer the ancient power of the tide? Danger strikes when you least expect it, right at the harbor's edge. In March 2019, shortly after leaving New York, the Norwegian escape was blindsided by a sudden, violent squall. The ship tilted dangerously, throwing passengers and furniture across the decks in a moment of pure terror. It looked like a steel skyscraper leaning toward the dark, hungry water. A chilling whisper seemed to echo through the tilting corridors, carrying a grim warning: never turn your back on the sea, for it never truly sleeps. Imagine a grand feast turning into a symphony of violent destruction within seconds. In 2019, a Russian cruise ship was ambushed by a sudden storm, causing the vessel to rock so violently that the entire restaurant was pulverized. Plates and tables became lethal projectiles in a room that looked like a shattered mirror, reflecting a ruined empire. As the last chandelier flickered out in the chaos, one mystery remained. Why does the ocean take such dark pleasure in crushing human elegance? Imagine the Mediterranean turning into a liquid abyss where the horizon simply vanishes. In February 2005, this vessel was assaulted by monstrous 16-meter waves that shattered the cockpit glass, flooding the bridge and killing all electrical power. The ship became a blind giant, drifting helplessly in a chaotic void. It looked like a discarded toy in a washing machine of salt and rage. As the emergency lights flickered, a chilling silence descended, a metallic prayer for mercy. Does the ocean forgive those who invade its territory? Never enter the water when the steel beast is breathing, for the abyss under the hull has no mercy for the living. Divers who inspect the massive propellers of cargo ships must descend into a world of crushing pressure and zero visibility, working beneath hulls that span over 300 meters in length. They swim alongside blades that weigh over 100 tons, knowing that a single mechanical glitch could turn the water into a lethal whirlpool of shredded steel. The propeller looks like the jagged, rusted tooth of a prehistoric sea monster, resting in a graveyard of barnacles and cold salt. It is a terrifyingly lonely job where the only sound is the rhythmic mechanical thumping of the ship's heart. In the murky green-black depths, shadows seem to shift with a life of their own, whispering of the sailors who were pulled into the dark. Beware the silent suction of the deep, for once the ocean claims you, it never reveals your final resting place. Why do we trust our eternal souls to a man holding a weathered steering wheel on the edge of a 1,000-foot cliff? Mountain bus drivers in regions like the Himalayas or the Andes navigate narrow, muddy paths that are barely wide enough for a single tire, often during monsoon rains that turn the road into a sliding trap. One wrong move, one patch of loose gravel, and 40 passengers could vanish into the mist forever. The bus looks like a colorful, metal tightrope walker, teetering precariously over an emerald abyss. It is a harrowing display of nerves, where the driver's intuition is the only map that matters. As the tires spin inches away from the crumbling edge, the passengers often sit in a prayerful silence, their lives hanging by a literal thread of rubber and luck. A profound sense of spiritual vulnerability fills the cabin as the bus disappears into the clouds. Does the mountain allow us to pass, or are we just lucky guests in a kingdom of stone? Most run from the monster. These people drive straight into its hungry throat. Storm chasers hunt supercell tornadoes, capturing vital data while nature tries to tear the world apart. The tornado looks like a black, swirling finger of an angry god descending from a bruised sky. Amidst the terrifying roar, an eerie green light illuminates the path to destruction. When the heavens scream in fury, do you have the courage to stand your ground and listen? Is it a machine or a man-made titan designed to shatter the very foundation of the Arctic? These specialized icebreakers are engineered with hulls of unparalleled strength, built to ram and crush ice sheets up to 1.5 meters thick. Every collision is a violent encounter. As the bow climbs onto the ice and smashes downward, the entire ship vibrates with a bone-jarring force that can be felt in the souls of every crew member. The frozen surface looks like a vast, shattered mirror of white glass, trembling under the weight of human ambition. It is a raw display of mechanical power against the silent, stubborn resistance of nature. Amidst the blinding white glare, the ice emits a high-pitched, crystalline shriek, a spiritual warning that we are breaking into a realm where we were never meant to tread. Can we truly conquer a world made of ice and silence? A luxury paradise can be transformed into a chaotic cage in a heartbeat. During two brutal storms in 2016, this giant faced hurricane-force winds that sent furniture flying and glass shattering, sparking pure panic. The interior looked like a kaleidoscope of destruction, with high-end decor tossed around like autumn leaves. It was a glass palace being shaken by an invisible, angry god. As the hull groaned under the pressure, a profound sense of human fragility emerged. When the waves roar, who is really in control? Look out. The river is no safer than the open ocean when the storm wakes up. In late 2021, the ferry Meteora was crossing Germany's Elbe River when a massive wave punched through the front windows. Water surged into the passenger cabin like a freezing, watery fist, drenching everyone in instant panic. The vessel looked like a fragile glass box being crushed by the grey tide. Beware the thin glass that separates your warm world from the cold, hungry depths of the river. Welcome to the roof of the world, where history finally meets the infinite. The Tibet Highway is a 2,000-kilometer marvel, crossing 14 mountains and 10 rivers at oxygen-deprived altitudes that test the absolute limits of human endurance. The road looks like a golden thread, woven into a vast tapestry of eternal snow and sapphire skies. Under the blinding glare of the sun, the mountains bow to the persistence of man. As we conquer these heights, do we find the world's end or our own beginning? Don't look down. Crane operators work hundreds of feet above the earth, balancing massive steel beams on thin cables while the cabin sways in the wind. The crane looks like a giant metal heron stalking the urban skyline, indifferent to the chaos below. High above the clouds, a flickering light reflects off the steel, creating a sense of terrifying isolation. Why do we strive to touch the heavens when we are so fragile? Is the view worth the fear? Stop. One slip, one moment of vertigo, and you will become a falling star in a sky that does not care about your name. Tower technicians climb to dizzying heights of 1,500 to 2,000 feet, often on thin metal rods that sway violently in the high-altitude winds. There are no safety nets here, only a harness and the raw strength of your own hands. As they reach the summit to replace a single light bulb, the world below dissolves into a miniature, toy-like reality. The tower looks like a fragile spider's thread, stretched toward the heavens, trembling under the weight of the clouds. It is a place where the air is thin and the silence is deafening, broken only by the haunting whistle of the gale through the steel. Beware the call of the void, that sudden spiritual urge to let go and join the wind. If the sky decides to claim you, even the strongest cables will feel like nothing more than thin silk. Ascend to the realm where the clouds bleed into the stone. The Nueva Carretera Central in Peru is a breathtaking feat of modern engineering, spanning the jagged peaks of the Andes at altitudes exceeding 4,800 meters. It looks like a giant silver serpent, coiling around the very backbone of the world, defying the laws of gravity and oxygen. In the thin, freezing light, the mountain peaks whisper the ancient names of the Inca. Do we build these bridges to reach the future, or are they altars to the hungry sky? Beware of the double curse that struck the Australian coast in December 2016. The ship was trapped in a violent storm while simultaneously battling a massive norovirus outbreak among the passengers. It was a floating hospital caught in a washing machine of salt water and sickness. The ship looked like a ghost vessel, battered by waves, while a silent enemy moved within its walls. Amidst the howling wind, a heavy spiritual gloom settled over the deck. How much can the human spirit endure before it finally breaks? Beware the temple that moved across the water, for the ancient gods of Egypt do not forget their original foundations. The Temple of Cappadocia, once 30 miles away, was dismantled and reconstructed on a new island in Lake Nasser during the 1960s to save it from the rising Nile. Built during the Roman era on the site of a much older sanctuary, this massive structure is dedicated to the Nubian sun god, Mandalis. Geologically, the temple is composed of gargantuan blocks of desert sandstone, their golden surfaces etched with hieroglyphs that have survived 2,000 years of sun and sand. Visually, the site looks like a majestic stone fortress floating on a sea of sapphire glass. Its pylons and courtyards appear as a mirage in the blinding heat of the Sahara. This is the warning phase of the Matrix. Why does the air around the inner sanctum turn unnaturally cold even when the desert sun is at its zenith? There are rumors of the submerged echoes, claiming that the original site beneath the lake still rings with the phantom chants of priests whenever the tide shifts. Warning, do not touch the carvings of the sun disk after the shadows have covered them, for the curse of the drowned temple is said to follow those who disrespect the relocated stone. As the fierce red rays of the sun strike the temple gate, the god Mandalis seems to wake from his stone slumber. Will the desert sands eventually bury the new island, or will the gods return to find their lost home? What anchors this fortress of faith to a pyramid of stone, if not the weight of 1,000 years of war and prayer? The Sacra di San Michele is an ancient Benedictine abbey perched atop Mount Piciriano in the Susa Valley of Italy, standing at an altitude of 962 meters. Formed in the 10th century, the architecture is a matrix of retention, of vertical mystery. where the stone walls are fused so perfectly into the grey granite peak that the Abbey appears to be an organic growth of the mountain itself. Geologically, the site is a sheer, jagged spine of metamorphic rock overlooking the ancient route to France. Visually, the Abbey resembles a stone crown floating on a sea of alpine mist, its stairway of the dead, leading upward through a dark, claustrophobic tunnel of tombs and arches. This is the mystery phase. Why did the architect build the zodiac door on a precipice where the wind can strip a man from his feet? There are rumors of the Angel's Blade, claiming that the Archangel Michael himself struck the mountain to create the foundation. Warning: do not stare into the Belalda Tower ruins during a storm, for the spirit of the leap is said to reenact her fatal fall when the lightning strikes the granite. As the cold silver mist swallows the ramparts, the Abbey feels like a ship sailing through a celestial ocean. Who truly guards the high gate? The monks or the wind that has carved the stone into the shape of a sword? Standing at the ultimate pinnacle where the boundary between the mortal realm and the divine dissolves, Fanjingshan is not merely a mountain. It is a geological miracle that has survived over 65 million years of tectonic transformation. How can a massive pillar of rock, split perfectly down the middle, balance two ancient temples connected only by a narrow golden bridge? Rising to 2,236 meters above sea level in the Wudang Mountains of Gwiju, this UNESCO World Heritage Site is the sacred Bodhi Manda of the Maitreya Buddha. Its most iconic feature, the red cloud's golden summit, juts vertically from the earth like a massive thumb of stone, often draped in a sea of swirling clouds that creates the illusion of a floating island in the sky. The sheer verticality of its cliffs is breathtaking, requiring pilgrims to ascend nearly 8,000 stone steps to reach the jeweled temples that represent the present and the future. Visually, the peak resembles a majestic mushroom of rock, emerging from an emerald ocean of primeval forest, home to the rare grey snub-nosed monkey. As the golden light of the setting sun strikes the summit, a halo of light, known as the Buddha's light, often appears, casting a shimmering aura over the abyss. This is the place where the ego dies and the soul is laid bare against the vastness of time. We are but dust on the shoulders of these Precambrian giants, mere whispers in the eternal wind that howls through the stone corridors. Will your name be remembered by the heavens, or will it be carved into the profound, sacred silence of Fanjingshan? Do you feel your own insignificance yet? Imagine a world turned to glass, where the temperature drops to a bone-chilling -40 degrees, yet a sapphire ribbon of water continues to flow, unfrozen and defiant. How can life persist in such a frozen wasteland? The Langshan River, located in the volcanic highlands of Inner Mongolia, is a natural phenomenon fueled by subterranean geothermal energy. While every other lake and stream in the region becomes a solid block of ice, this river remains liquid throughout the harshest winters. It is a steaming, crystal-clear vein of life, cutting through a landscape of white birch forests and dormant volcanoes. Visually, the river looks like a steaming dragon's breath, rising from the snow, its surface reflecting the pale winter sun like polished jewels. The contrast is surreal. Vibrant green water grasses swaying beneath the surface, while the banks are buried under meters of heavy, powdery snow. The steam rising from the water coats the surrounding trees in a thick layer of rime ice, turning the forest into a shimmering kingdom of silver. In the quiet of the Mongolian wilderness, this warmth in the heart of winter feels like a sacred promise. It is a place of absolute purity, where the air is so crisp, it feels like drinking cold silk. As the mist curls around the frozen trunks, one cannot help but feel a deep sense of reverence for nature's hidden fire. Is this nature's way of showing us that even in the coldest depths of despair, the current of life never truly stops? Are you brave enough to follow the steam into the unknown? Why would the earth choose to sculpt a serpent of granite and a goddess of stone, if not to guard a secret that no mortal was ever meant to hear? Sanqing Mountain in Jiangxi is a retention matrix of Taoist mystery, a UNESCO World Heritage Site where the granite peaks have been eroded into bizarre, lifelike shapes. Standing at 1,817 meters, the mountain is famous for the Oriental goddess and the giant boa emerging from the mountain. Rock formations so realistic, they seem to breathe in the heavy mountain mist. Geologically, it is a masterpiece of vertical jointing, creating thin, needle-like towers that defy the laws of physics. Visually, the mountain looks like a celestial palace of stone, its peaks often hidden by a sea of clouds that moves with an eerie, predatory grace. This is the mystery phase of the Matrix. Why do the ancient Taoist temples here feel as though they are still inhabited by the ghosts of the past? There are rumors of the stone serpent moving in the dead of night, and warnings that those who climb the sky ladder with a dishonest heart will find the path leading nowhere. Warning: if you hear a rhythmic hissing in the wind, do not look back. The mountain is a silent judge of the soul. Can you feel the invisible eyes of the goddess following you through the granite labyrinth? Turn back if you fear the silence, for the emerald shadows of Mount Qingcheng do not welcome the noise of the modern world. As the legendary birthplace of Taoism in Sichuan, this mountain is a retention matrix of spiritual intrigue, rising to 1,260 meters through a canopy of primeval forest so thick that the sun rarely touches the mossy ground. Geologically, it is a series of lush, curved ridges that form a natural amphitheater, housing 36 peaks and 72 caves that have served as retreats for hermits for 2 millennia. Visually, the mountain is an emerald fortress. Its wooden temples are so seamlessly integrated into the rocks that they appear to have grown from the stone itself. This is the action and mystery phase. Why is the air here so unnaturally still, as if the mountain is holding its breath? There are rumors of the invisible masters who still practice alchemy in the hidden caves, their presence felt as a sudden chilling breeze in the heat of the day. Warning: do not wander off the stone paths after the evening bells, for the green mist is said to swallow the sense of direction, leaving the traveler lost in a loop of identical trees. It is said that the mountain eats the noise of the heart until only the truth remains. Are you prepared to face the silence of your own soul in the emerald darkness? Beware the hollow mountain, a colossal stone sentinel that has watched over Cappadocia for eons. Ortahisar Castle is a retaining matrix of geological and human mystery, an 86-meter-tall rock monolith that has been honeycombed with caves, rooms, and tunnels since the Byzantine era. Formed from soft volcanic tuff, the castle is a natural skyscraper that has served as a fortress, a residence, and a tomb. Visually, it looks like a giant, weathered termite mound of pale stone, its surface pockmarked with dark windows that stare out over the valley like sightless eyes. This is the mystery phase. Why is the interior of the rock so cold even in the height of summer? And what lies in the depths that are now sealed shut? There are rumors of the stone heartbeat, a low vibration that can be felt in the lowest chambers during the full moon. Warning: do not wander the upper terraces when the wind howls through the stone chimneys, for the whistling ghosts are said to push the unwary toward the edge. Locals warn that the castle is breathing, and those who enter with greed will find the tunnels changing shape behind them. Is the rock a protector, or is it a trap that has already swallowed 1,000 years of history? Can you feel the mountain's breath on your skin as you climb into its dark, stony heart? Behold the pillar that supports the sky, a granite sentinel that has stood as a symbol of stability for millions of years. Mount Tianzhu, located in Anhui Province, is the centerpiece of the Wan Mountains, reaching a height of 1,189 meters. Geologically, it is a spectacular display of granite karst, featuring 45 peaks, 86 bizarrely shaped rocks, and 18 hidden caves. The main peak, Tianzhu Peak, is a solitary, vertical column of stone that juts into the clouds like a giant finger pointing toward the heavens. Visually, the mountain resembles a petrified forest of giants, with twisted pine trees clinging to the cracks in the grey stone. The mists here move with a peculiar slowness, often settling in the valleys to create an island-like effect for the summits. There is a deep historical reverence for this mountain. It was once designated as the Southern Heaven Mountain by Emperor Wu of the Han Dynasty. This legacy creates a spirit of Niamtin Nenang, a quiet confidence that the mountain provides a foundation for the entire region. The locals believe that as long as Tianzhu stands, the heavens will never fall. As the golden hour light softens the harsh edges of the granite, a sense of profound balance takes hold. It is a place to find your center, to stand as firm as the rock against the shifting winds of life. Is there a pillar within your own soul that is as unyielding as Tianzhu? Stand still, breathe deep, and let the mountain's ancient strength become your own. Behold the epic convergence of the celestial and the terrestrial, where the moon herself is said to have fallen in love with the silver peaks of Jiangxi. Mingyu Mountain, or Moon Mountain, is a colossal granite massif rising 1,735 meters into the heavens, serving as a timeless monument to the grandeur of the Earth's crust. Formed by the intense geological activity of the Mesozoic era, its landscape is a dramatic tapestry of sharp ridges, deep bamboo-filled valleys, and natural hot springs that have bubbled from the deep mantle for thousands of years. Visually, the mountain is a masterpiece of verticality. Its most famous peak is shaped like a perfect crescent moon, often seen rising above a sea of clouds that moves with the power of a tidal wave. The Qingyun Bridge, a glass walkway clinging to the precipice, offers a view of the world that makes the heart of history beat faster. This is the epic final boss, the epic climax, where we witness the struggle between the permanence of stone and the fleeting nature of human time. As the pale moonlight reflects off the 1,000-meter waterfalls, the mountain asks a silent, heavy question. What is the legacy of a man compared to the life of a star? Standing here, the ego is crushed by the weight of the infinite, replaced by a realization that we are but small travelers in a vast, moonlit dream. Are you prepared to face the magnitude of your own insignificance against the backdrop of eternity? Ascend the southern peak of the five great mountains and find the place where the fragrance of ancient incense meets the purity of the high-altitude air. Mount Heng in Yunnan, rising 1,300 meters, is the spiritual heart of the south, a verdant sanctuary where Taoist and Buddhist traditions have intertwined for over 2 millennia. Geologically, it is a granite massif featured by 72 majestic peaks that seem to roll like waves across the landscape. Visually, the mountain is an elegant tapestry of ancient temples, such as the Grand Southern Sky Gate, nestled among primeval forests of silver fir and bamboo. The scenery is often veiled in a delicate white mist that gives the peaks the appearance of floating islands in a celestial sea. There is a deep sense of sacredness here, a sacred reverence that permeates every stone and leaf. As you stand before the ancient shrines, the rhythmic chanting of the monks acts like a spiritual bridge, washing the mind clean of modern chaos and replacing it with a quiet, holy stillness. The golden glow of the temple lamps against the emerald greenery creates a vision of eternal peace that feels as though it belongs to another world. Can you hear the wisdom of the ancients echoing in the rustle of the leaves? On the slopes of Mount Heng, the world of the mundane disappears, leaving only the path to the divine. Step into the first national park in China and witness a world where the water is a mirror for the heavens and the forest is a sanctuary for the soul. Located in the heart of the Shangri-La region of Yunnan, Podakuo sits at an elevation of 3,500 to 4,950 meters, encompassing the pristine Bitter and Shudu lakes. This ecological jewel was formed by alpine glaciation, resulting in a landscape of crystal-clear water, vibrant wetlands, and ancient coniferous forests that have remained untouched for centuries. Visually, the park is a masterpiece of symmetry. The still surfaces of the lakes reflect the surrounding mountains and the drifting white clouds so perfectly that it is impossible to tell where the sky ends. The meadows are a riot of color in the summer, filled with wild azaleas and grazing yaks that move with a slow, ancient grace. This is a site of reputable startups representing the pinnacle of Chinese conservation and natural beauty. The local Tibetan people hold these waters as sacred, believing they are the teardrops of the goddess. As the morning sun sparkles on the frost-covered grass, a sense of gentle faith fills the air, a quiet pride in the preservation of this earthly paradise. Can you feel the harmony of the universe in the ripple of a mountain lake? In Podakuo, the world is reborn in every breath of the alpine air. Enter a labyrinth of petrified shadows, where the trees are made of stone and the silence is 270 million years old. The stone forest in Yunnan is a global masterpiece of karst geology, an artistic depth where ancient limestone has been sculpted by the sea and the wind into a forest of vertical needles and jagged blades. Reaching heights of up to 30 meters, these stone trees create a landscape that feels like a petrified dream of the primordial world. Visually, the forest resembles a garden of giant stone swords piercing the sky, their grey surfaces etched with the patterns of fossilized coral and ancient shells. The most famous formation, the Ashima stone, stands as a symbol of eternal love and purity, draped in the soft golden light of the Yunnan sun. There is a profound sacredness here. The Sani people believe the stones are the ancestors of their tribe, watching over the living with a cold, unyielding wisdom. As you navigate the narrow stone paths, a sense of spiritual cleansing takes hold, a cleansing of the mind through the sheer weight of geological time. The atmosphere is still, save for the whisper of the wind through the stone crevices, which sounds like the size of 1 billion years. Does your soul recognize the ancient language of the stone? In this forest of giants, what is left of your fleeting worries? Don't trust the thin, wooden stilts that seem to be the only thing preventing this architectural miracle from a screaming plunge into the Golden Dragon Gorge. The Hanging Temple in Shanxi is a terrifying masterpiece of ancient engineering built over 1,500 years ago during the Northern Wei dynasty. It is the only temple in the world that integrates Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism into a single, gravity-defying structure. Located 50 meters above the ground on the vertical face of Mount Heng, the temple is anchored by oak crossbeams fitted into holes carved deep into the granite cliff. Visually, the structure looks like delicate, multicolored wooden lace stitched onto a brutal wall of gray stone, with its narrow corridors and hanging balconies offering a direct view into the void. This is an odd, warning sight within the Matrix. The mountain demands a tribute of absolute fear from all who dare to cross its threshold. Warning: the wind here tunnels through the gorge with such ferocity that the wooden floorboards beneath your feet often vibrate with a low, ghostly hum. Locals whisper that the temple is held up not by wood, but by the breath of the immortals, who still reside in the highest pagodas. They warn that if the incense smoke at the altar flows downward, the spirits are displeased, and the bridge to the heavens might finally break. Can you hear the creaking of the ancient wood as it battles the wind? Do you have the courage to trust your life to a 1,000-year-old secret? Enter the Gibraltar of the East, a hidden medieval fortress carved into the side of a massive limestone rock that rises from the Meteora Sea. Monemvasia, located on a small island off the coast of Laconia, Greece, is a site of prestigious start, where history is hidden behind a single, narrow entrance. Formed by an earthquake in 375 AD, the massive rock became a sanctuary for the locals fleeing invasions, evolving into a powerful Byzantine and Venetian naval base. Geologically, the island is a steep-sided plateau 300 meters high and 1.8 kilometers long, connected to the mainland by a short causeway. Visually, the town is a labyrinth of red-tiled roofs and stone alleys, completely invisible from the land, appearing as if the mountain had swallowed a city whole. The upper town contains the church of Hagia Sophia, clinging to the very edge of the cliff, overlooking the turquoise waters. This site is the pride of the Peloponnese, carrying a gentle belief that the rock is an unshakable shield against the passage of time. As you walk through the iron gate, and the scent of sea salt mingles with the ancient stone dust, a sense of profound history washes over you. It is a place of endurance and secret beauty, where every stone has a story of survival. Can you hear the echoes of the Venetian ships in the sound of the waves? In the silence of Monemvasia, the past is the only reality that remains. Why does the central peak of the five great mountains remain the unshakable axis of the world, even as dynasties crumble into dust? Mount Song in Henan is the even why of Chinese spiritual history, the site of the legendary Shaolin Temple and the birthplace of Zen Buddhism. Rising to 1,512 meters, the mountain is a geological encyclopedia, displaying rock layers from 5 different geological eras: the Orosirian, the Neo-Proterozoic, the Paleozoic, the Mesozoic, and the Cenozoic, stacked like the pages of a divine book. Visually, the mountain is a fortress of vertical granite slabs and ancient cypress trees. Its ridges resemble the muscular back of a reclining monk in meditation. The pagoda forest at its base stands as a silent army of stone, guarding the wisdom of centuries. Yet the mountain demands an answer to a deeper mystery. Why do the shadows in the Bodhidharma cave move against the light? This is the retention matrix, where the physical exertion of the climb is a test of the spirit's resolution. There is a sense of rumor among the martial artists that the mountain itself teaches those who listen to the silence of the stone. If you find yourself breathing in perfect rhythm with the wind, you have been accepted. But if the stone feels cold and the path grows narrow, the mountain is rejecting your ego. What is the sound of one hand clapping against the granite of Songshan? Witness the impossible marriage of fire and ice at the foot of the mighty Mount Gongga. Hailuogou is a glacial wonderland in Sichuan, famous for its low-altitude marine glacier that plunges through primeval forests. The centerpiece is the Great Ice Fall, a colossal wall of crystal blue ice over 1,000 meters high and 100 meters wide, 10 times larger than the famous Huangguoshu waterfall. Geologically, this is a living, moving landscape where glaciers grind against the red rocks of the valley, creating a surreal contrast of colors. Visually, the valley looks like a dragon made of silver scales, sleeping amidst a forest of emerald and gold. The presence of natural hot springs at the edge of the ice field creates a mist that shrouds the area in a dreamlike atmosphere. There is a profound sacredness in the sight of steam rising from the earth while snow falls on the frozen river of ice. This is a place of absolute purification, where the cold air and the warm water work together to wash away, to cleanse the weary soul of its burdens. As the sun sets, turning the ice fall into a shimmering wall of gold, the silence is broken only by the distant crack of the shifting glacier. Do you feel the ancient purity of the ice entering your veins? In the presence of this frozen giant, all human troubles feel like mist in the wind. Navigate the rose-red labyrinth and witness the artistic depth of a desert where the mountains have been turned into palaces of the soul. Petra, the legendary capital of the Nabateans in Jordan, is not just a city of tombs, but a vast network of cave dwellings carved directly into the multicolored sandstone rocks. Dating back to the 4th BC, this geological wonder was formed by century-ancient riverbeds and tectonic shifts, creating a palette of rocks that swirls with shades of red, purple, and gold. Visually, the Street of Facades looks like a line of frozen silk, where the rock has been sculpted into intricate doorways and columns that seem to melt into the mountain. This is a site of profound sacredness. The experience of walking through the narrow Siq, with its towering 80-meter walls, acts as a spiritual cleansing, stripping away the noise of the outside world before revealing the majesty of the treasury. There is an overwhelming sense of eternity here. The desert wind carries the scent of salt and ancient dust, and the silence of the high places feels like a prayer. As the setting sun turns the sandstone into a sea of liquid fire, the rock-cut homes glow with a warm ancestral light. It is a place where the human hand and the hand of God have worked together to create a masterpiece of survival and beauty. Does your soul recognize the rhythm of the desert stars as they rise over the jagged peaks? In Petra, the stone is a witness to the glory of the sun. Turn back now, for the air you breathe at Mount Wudang is thick with a power that has crushed the spirits of the weak for centuries. This is not just a mountain. It is the forbidden cradle of Taoist martial arts and the legendary birthplace of Tai Chi. Located in Hubei province, this UNESCO World Heritage Site features a sprawling architectural complex built during the Ming Dynasty, designed to mirror the celestial harmony of the universe. The highest point, the Golden Hall, sits atop the Great Celestial Peak at 1,612 meters, a structure made entirely of gilded bronze that has survived lightning strikes and storms for over 600 years. Visually, the mountain resembles a colossal, sleeping turtle, a symbol of longevity, carrying a city of temples on its rugged back. The stone steps are worn smooth by the feet of a million warriors and monks, winding through ancient cypress forests that seem to whisper combat secrets in the wind. But beware the silence of the forbidden city at the summit. Rumors persist of shadow monks who still guard the secret scrolls in the dead of night, their movements faster than the human eye can track. It is said that the eternal flame inside the Golden Hall is fueled by the spirits of the mountain itself. If the flame flickers toward you, it is a sign that the mountain has judged your heart unworthy. Do not speak a word above a whisper, or you may wake the ancient energy that sleeps beneath the stone. Can you feel the invisible weight of 1,000 years of kung fu watching your every step? Behold the white crown of the Nubra Valley, where the silence of the Himalayas is as deep as the wisdom of the ancients. Deadliest Monastery, standing at an elevation of 3,144 meters in the Ladakh region of India, is a sanctuary of artistic depth that transcends the physical realm. Founded in the 14th century by Changzem Serab Zangpo, it is the oldest and largest Buddhist monastery in the valley, clinging to the jagged edge of a rock hill that overlooks the winding Shok River. Geologically, the site is a harsh, high-altitude desert where the wind has sculpted the grey granite into a fortress of solitude. Visually, the monastery resembles a staircase of whitewashed pearls spilled onto a dark mountain, dominated by the magnificent 32-meter-tall statue of Maitreya Buddha. The statue faces down the river toward Pakistan, glowing with a golden intensity that provides a stark contrast against the deep navy sky and the brown, barren hills. There is an overwhelming sense of sacredness in the air, the sound of the prayer wheels and the low hum of the monks' chanting act as a spiritual cleansing, purifying the soul of its worldly burdens. As the blue hour settles over the desert, the golden light of the Buddha's face seems to illuminate the very essence of the soul. This is a place where the earth reaches out to the heavens in a silent plea for peace. Can you feel your own heartbeat slowing down to match the rhythm of the mountain? In the presence of Deadliest, the mind finds a stillness that the world below has forgotten. Why would a mountain choose to stand on the edge of the world, where the clouds form a sea that never touches the shore? Daoyarding in Sichuan is a high-altitude limestone plateau that ends in a terrifying vertical cliff known as the End of the Sky. Standing at over 3,500 meters, this is a place where the air is thin, and the boundary between reality and the void is a single, trembling step. The geology is a stark grey expanse of weathered rock that has been beaten by the high-altitude winds into a lunar landscape. Visually, the peak looks like a jagged stone pier, jutting into a white ocean of clouds, its edge so sharp it feels like the blade of a knife. The silence here is absolute, broken only by the thin whistle of the wind through the cracks in the stone. However, beneath the serenity lies a dark legend of the floating shadows. It is said that on nights when the moon is hidden, strange lights appear in the clouds below the cliff, moving with a rhythmic, pulsing glow. Warning: do not walk to the edge during the blue hour, for the horizon disappears, and many travelers have stepped off the cliff, thinking they were still on the path. There are reports of strange metallic sounds resonating from the depths of the rock, as if the mountain itself is a hollow bell. Do you hear the mountain calling you to the edge? Dare you stare into the cloud sea until you lose your sense of up and down? ascend the mountain of the Yellow Emperor and find the legendary birthplace of Taoist wisdom, where the clouds rest upon the shoulders of the peaks. Kongtong Mountain in Gansu, rising to 2,123 meters, is celebrated as one of the most sacred mountains in China, being the site where the mythical Yellow Emperor sought guidance from the immortal Guangchengzi. Geologically, it is a complex of red conglomerate and sandstone, featuring jagged peaks, deep ravines, and ancient forests that have stood watch over the Silk Road for millennia. Visually, the mountain is a stunning collection of ancient Taoist and Buddhist temples that seem to grow directly out of the cliffside, connected by narrow stone paths that wind through the mist. The Jing River flows at its base, its silver waters reflecting the emerald green of the slopes. This is a place of reputable boots, where history and mythology are woven into every stone. The atmosphere is permeated with a gentle belief in the continuity of wisdom and the possibility of immortality. As the scent of sandalwood incense drifts from the mountain shrines, a sense of profound calm takes hold. Can you hear the echoes of the ancient masters in the sigh of the pine trees? On the slopes of Kongtong, the wisdom of the past is as enduring as the mountain itself. Behold the dwelling of the immortals, a poetic realm where the ink of the earth has not yet dried on the silk of the sky. Jinyun Xiandu in Zhejiang is a masterpiece of artistic depth, centered around the magnificent Dinghu Peak, a 170-meter tall pillar of stone that juts vertically from the earth like a colossal bamboo shoot. Formed by volcanic activity and sculpted by the gentle hands of time, the pillar stands beside the winding Liangxi River, often reflected in the water like a dream of eternity. Visually, the landscape is the quintessential Chinese wash painting. The towering stone needle is frequently shrouded in a delicate white mist, while ancient stone bridges and weeping willows frame the emerald banks. This is a site of profound sacredness where the Emperor Zhuanyuan is said to have ascended to heaven on the back of a dragon from the very top of the peak. As you wander through the garden of small peach blossoms, the air feels purifying, purified by the scent of peach nectar and the sound of the flowing river. There is a sacred silence here that strips away the noise of the modern world, leaving only a sense of profound harmony. The golden light of the setting sun turns the Dinghu Peak into a glowing scepter of light, a beacon for the soul seeking its way back to the source. Can you feel the touch of the immortals in the soft morning breeze? Deep in the remote Zanskar Valley of Ladakh, a honeycomb of faith that lies seems to be a natural growth upon the canyon wall. Phugtal Monastery, one of the only Buddhist monasteries in the world, that can be reached only on foot, is built around a massive natural cave that has been a place of retreat for 2,500 years. The current structure, dating back to the 12th century, is a classical and scientific marvel of mud brick and timber, housing nearly 70 monks in a vertical labyrinth of cells and prayer halls. Geologically, the monastery is nestled in a limestone cliff beside the Lungnak River, its pale walls contrasting sharply against the jagged grey-brown mountains. Visually, it looks like a white solar flare emerging from a dark beehive, its precarious position representing the ultimate isolation from the noise of the world. This is a place of reputable boots for the resilient Zanskari people, a site that showcases the triumph of the human spirit over the harsh Himalayan environment. The air here is thin and crisp, vibrating with a gentle faith that has sustained the community through centuries of winter. As the monks' morning chants resonate through the cavern, a sense of profound stability takes hold. This is a sanctuary of the high desert, where the legacy of the past is as enduring as the river below. Can you hear the rhythm of the mountains in the silence of the cave? Behold the monasteries suspended in the air, where the giants of stone reach up to touch the hem of the heavens. The Great Meteoron is the largest and oldest of the 6 remaining Eastern Orthodox monasteries in Meteora, Greece, perched atop a massive sandstone pillar 613 meters high. Formed millions of years ago by the action of a prehistoric river, these pillars of the sky are a geological wonder of the Thessaly region. In the 14th century, monks climbed these vertical walls using ropes and nets to build sanctuaries of safety and spirit. Visually, the monastery resembles a celestial fortress floating on an island of grey rock, its red-tiled roof and white walls appearing like a dream against the deep blue sky. This is a site of reputation, representing the pinnacle of Byzantine history and the enduring power of orthodoxy. There is a deep, gentle faith here. A Greek proverb claims that, on Meteora, you are halfway to God. As the old wooden net hoist creaks in the wind, you are reminded of the fragility of the human body and the strength of the human soul. The atmosphere is one of profound peace and local pride, where the unyielding stone provides a foundation for eternal hope. Can you feel your spirit rising with the eagles that circle the peaks? On the pillars of Meteora, the world below fades into a beautiful, distant memory. Step back into the 12th century and witness the engineering genius of the ancestral Puebloans, who transformed a massive sandstone alcove into a thriving urban metropolis. Cliff Palace, located in Mesa Verde National Park, Colorado, is the largest cliff dwelling in North America, featuring over 150 individual rooms and 23 kivas, sacred subterranean ceremonial chambers. Built between AD 1190 and 1260, this architectural masterpiece was constructed using sandstone blocks, mortar made of mud and water, and wooden beams. Geologically, the palace is nestled under the protective overhang of a massive cliff, which provides a natural shield against the elements and potential enemies. Visually, the structure resembles a golden honeycomb carved into the belly of the earth, its multi-story towers and circular rooms, glowing with a warm, earthy radiance under the desert sun. This is a site of reputable boots, representing the pinnacle of indigenous architectural history. There is a profound, gentle faith in the local heritage. As the Hopi and Zuni descendants say, our ancestors never left. They simply moved into the breath of the wind. As the evening shadows stretch across the canyon floor, the golden walls seem to whisper the secrets of a civilization that lived in perfect harmony with the stone. It is a place of profound ancestral pride and enduring mystery, where the silence of the alcove speaks louder than words. Can you hear the echoes of the ancient drums in the rustle of the sagebrush? In the heart of the Cliff Palace, the past is never truly gone. Don't look down. That is the only rule you must obey if you wish to survive the most terrifying ascent in the world. Mount Huashan, one of the 5 great mountains of China, is a jagged massif of near-vertical granite that pierces the Shanxi sky at 2,954 meters. Its legendary plank walk in the sky consists of narrow wooden boards bolted directly into the cliff face, thousands of feet above a yawning void. This mountain was formed by massive tectonic shifts, creating smooth, steep walls that offer no room for error. Visually, the mountain is often compared to a giant, blooming lotus flower made of pale stone, with its 5 peaks forming the delicate petals. The sheer scale of the granite walls makes humans look like tiny ants crawling across the face of a god. But beneath the thrill of the climb lies a darker reputation. The mountain is home to the Chess Pavilion, where spirits are said to play for the souls of men. Many locals whisper about the vanishing path, claiming that on certain misty evenings, the trail seems to lead into the sky, never to return. There are warnings that the mountain demands a tribute of courage, and those who show even a flicker of doubt may find the wind pushing them toward the edge. Is the adrenaline you feel a sign of life, or a warning from the mountain that you are trespassing on sacred ground? Why would anyone risk everything for a single view? Only those who reach the summit know if the reward is worth the price of their fear. Why does the central peak of the five great mountains remain the unshakable axis of the world, even as dynasties crumble into dust? Mount Song in Henan is the even why of Chinese spiritual history, the site of the legendary Shaolin Temple and the birthplace of Zen Buddhism. Rising to 1,512 meters, the mountain is a geological encyclopedia, displaying rock layers from 5 different geological eras: the Oro-Sirian, the Neo-Proterozoic, the Paleozoic, the Mesozoic, and the Cenozoic, stacked like the pages of a divine book. Visually, the mountain is a fortress of vertical granite slabs and ancient cypress trees. Its ridges resemble the muscular back of a reclining monk in meditation. The pagoda forest at its base stands as a silent army of stone, guarding the wisdom of centuries. Yet the mountain demands an answer to a deeper mystery. Why do the shadows in the Bodhidharma cave move against the light? This is the retention matrix, where the physical exertion of the climb is a test of the spirit's resolution. There is a sense of rumor among the martial artists that the mountain itself teaches those who listen to the silence of the stone. If you find yourself breathing in perfect rhythm with the wind, you have been accepted. But if the stone feels cold and the path grows narrow, the mountain is rejecting your ego. What is the sound of one hand clapping against the granite of Songshan? Trace the 9 serpent bends of the river into the heart of a mountain that holds the secrets of the earth in its emerald palms. Mount Wuyi in Fujian is a UNESCO World Heritage Site of unparalleled artistic depth, a paradise of Danxia landforms where red sandstone rocks rise dramatically from the banks of the Nine Bend River. Geologically, it is a living gallery of steep peaks, deep gorges, and hanging coffins that have remained in the high caves for over 3,000 years. Visually, the landscape is a rhythmic dance of vertical red rock and horizontal green water. The Heavenly Tour Peak offers a view of the river winding through the mountains like a silk ribbon discarded by a goddess. This is a place of profound sacredness, where the philosophy of Neo-Confucianism was born amid the tea gardens that produced the legendary Da Hongpao tea. As you drift down the river on a bamboo raft, the silence of the rocks works a spiritual cleansing upon the senses, purifying the eyes with color and the ears with the song of the water. The air is thick with the fragrance of roasted tea leaves and the ancient wisdom of the scholars who once meditated in these caves. Here, nature and culture are woven into a single, sacred tapestry that reminds us of the beauty of a life lived in balance. Can you taste the mountain's soul in a single cup of Wuyi tea? Step into a world of endless emerald waves, where the grass reaches for the clouds and the soul finds its rhythm in the silence of the high-altitude meadows. Wudang Mountain in Jiangxi is a masterpiece of depth of art, famous for its unique alpine grasslands that cover the mountaintops at an elevation of over 1,600 meters. Unlike the jagged stone of other peaks, Wudang offers a soft, undulating landscape that looks like a sea of green velvet undulating under the sky. Geologically, it is a granite massif that has been weathered into gentle plateaus, creating a surreal environment where the forest gives way to a vast, windswept prairie in the heavens. Visually, the mountain is a dream of infinite horizons. The sea of clouds frequently rolls over the green ridges, making the traveler feel as though they are walking on the roof of a floating continent. There is a profound sacredness in the experience of camping beneath its starlit sky. The air feels cleansing, purified by the scent of wild grass and the cold mountain dew. As the golden morning sun illuminates the frost on the meadows, the mind is stripped of its modern burdens, replaced by a quiet, holy stillness. This is a place to find the simplicity of being, to stand as a solitary witness to the harmony of the earth and the sky. Can you hear the song of the wind as it whispers anciently through the emerald blades? Look closely, for what you see is not a mountain, but a dream etched in stone and ink. At Mount Lu, the line between reality and illusion dissolves into a veil of white mist that has inspired over 4,000 poems throughout Chinese history. Located in Jiangxi province, this UNESCO World Heritage Site rises 1,174 meters above the Yangtze River, famous for its dramatic peaks, plunging waterfalls, and the sea of clouds that frequently swallows its summits. Geologically, it is a horsed mountain, featuring sharp rocks and deep forested valleys that have served as a spiritual retreat for Taoists, Buddhists, and Confucian scholars for 2 millennia. Visually, Mount Lu looks like a classic wash painting come to life. Its jagged ridges appear as silhouettes, floating on a milk-white ocean of fog. The sandy waterfall thunders down the rocks like the silver hair of a giant, its roar echoing through the ancient pines. There is a haunting beauty in the way the mist clings to the pavilions, hiding and then revealing the path ahead. As the evening bells of the Donglin Temple ring out across the valley, a sense of profound spiritual cleansing, a cleansing of the mind, takes hold. The atmosphere is thick with the wisdom of Li Bai and Su Dongpo, whose verses still linger in the mountain air. Can you truly say you know the mountain if you are standing in the middle of it? Or are you, like the poets of old, simply another ghost lost in the beautiful, eternal mist of Luson? Witness the impossible marriage of fire and ice at the foot of the mighty Mount Gongga. Hailuogou is a glacial wonderland in Sichuan, famous for its low-altitude marine glacier that plunges through primeval forests. The centerpiece is the Great Ice Fall, a colossal wall of crystal blue ice over 1,000 meters high and 100 meters wide, 10 times larger than the famous Huangguoshu waterfall. Geologically, this is a living, moving landscape where glaciers grind against the red rocks of the valley, creating a surreal contrast of colors. Visually, the valley looks like a dragon made of silver scales, sleeping amidst a forest of emerald and gold. The presence of natural hot springs at the edge of the ice field creates a mist that shrouds the area in a dreamlike atmosphere. There is a profound sacredness in the sight of steam rising from the earth while snow falls on the frozen river of ice. This is a place of absolute purification, where the cold air and the warm water work together to wash away, to cleanse the weary soul of its burdens. As the sun sets, turning the ice fall into a shimmering wall of gold, the silence is broken only by the distant crack of the shifting glacier. Do you feel the ancient purity of the ice entering your veins? In the presence of this frozen giant, all human troubles feel like mist in the wind. Turn back now, for you are entering the green abyss, a primordial wilderness where the laws of modern man have no power. Shenongjia in Hubei is a vast UNESCO World Biosphere Reserve, a mountain massif reaching over 3,000 meters, covered in a canopy of ancient forest so thick the sun rarely touches the ground. This is the legendary home of the Yeren, or the Chinese Bigfoot, a creature that has been sighted in these dark valleys for generations. The geography is a complex system of karst caves and hidden underground rivers that provide the perfect sanctuary for prehistoric life. Visually, the mountain looks like an emerald fortress, its peaks often hidden by a dark, heavy mist that smells of damp earth and ancient secrets. There is a persistent, haunting mystery here. Scientists have discovered species thought to be extinct, yet the most terrifying inhabitants remain unseen. Rumors of strange, high-pitched screams echoing through the valleys at night serve as a grim warning. Don't venture into the deep woods after dark. Locals speak of the forest judgment, claiming that those who disrespect the ancient trees find themselves walking in circles until they vanish. Can you feel the eyes of the wilderness watching you from the shadows? In the heart of Shenongjia, the hunter becomes the hunted. Dare you seek the truth hidden beneath the emerald leaves? Step into the gateway of the heavens, where the physical world ends and the ethereal begins. Mount Tianmen, located in the Zhangjiajie region of Hunan, is a geological marvel, standing 1,518 meters tall, famous for the Tianmen Cave, the highest natural water-eroded arch in the world. This massive hole in the mountain was formed in the year 263 AD, when a large portion of the cliff collapsed, creating a door that looks like it was carved by a giant's sword. To reach this portal, visitors must ascend the 999 steps to heaven, a grueling climb that represents the supreme number in Chinese culture. Visually, the mountain is a masterpiece of karst topography, with its famous 99 Bends Road snaking up the mountainside like a white dragon coiled in the greenery. The sight of the sun shining through the massive archway creates a beam of light so intense it feels like a divine benediction. There is a deep sense of national pride and Niamtinenang, gentle belief. Here, as locals believe that walking through the archway brings good fortune and a long life. It is a common saying that one who reaches Tianmen Cave has touched the hem of God's garment. As the soft mountain breeze carries the scent of wild orchids, your heart swells with a quiet peace. This is a place where the earth reaches out to touch the sky, reminding us that there is beauty in every struggle. May your journey upward be as steady as the stone beneath your feet. Imagine a place where the line between an ordinary day and the ultimate nightmare is as thin as a sheet of paper. We're talking about those heart-stopping moments that most people never survive to tell. Today, We're going to explore the craziest stories on the planet, from giant cruise ships being smashed by 15-meter-high waves to madmen building highways on sheer cliffs. This is where human courage confronts the wrath of Mother Nature. Before we begin, do me a big favor. Leave a comment and let us know which country you're watching from. And if you enjoy adventurous stuff, hit the subscribe button. Let's get started. Why did the first king of Bhutan build a palace of silence on a cliff where the only residents are the eagles and the silver goats? Cherry Monastery, founded in 1620 by Jabdrung Ngawang Namgyal, is a matrix of retention of regal mystery and spiritual fortification. Located at the end of the Thimphu Valley, the monastery clings to a sheer, forested mountain face where the air is thin and sacred. Geologically, it is a fortress of whitewashed stone and dark timber anchored to a granite precipice surrounded by ancient cypress trees that have stood for 400 years. Visually, the monastery looks like a celestial ship made of pearls sailing on a dark emerald sea of pine and oak. This is the mystery phase. Why is the Jabdrung's retreat sealed with a silence so heavy it can be felt in the chest? There are rumors of the Silver Guardian, a white mountain goat that appears to guide the pure of heart, but leads the insincere toward the edge of the ravine. Warning, do not speak a loud word near the silver-covered stupa, for the echo of the king is said to turn a whisper into a storm. As the sacred light of dawn hits the golden spires, the monastery feels like a bridge to another dimension. Can you hear the rhythmic drumming of the monks as it vibrates through the very roots of the mountain? In the heart of Ferry, the world of man has already been left far behind. Step into the heart of the volcano and find a life carved into the very breath of the earth. Kandovan, an extraordinary village in the East Azerbaijan province of Iran, is a masterpiece of artistic depth and geological harmony. For over 700 years, families have lived inside Karans, natural volcanic cones formed by the eruptions of Mount Sahand and sculpted by the patient hands of time. Geologically, these cones are made of compressed volcanic ash and tuff, providing a natural insulation that keeps the interiors warm in the biting winter and cool in the scorching summer. Visually, the village looks like a forest of giant stone termite mounds or a colony of stone hives with colorful doors and windows peering out from the gray and tan rock. This is a site of profound sacredness and cleansing. The simplicity of a life lived inside the earth purifies the modern spirit, stripping away the complications of the material world. There is an overwhelming sacredness in the way the mountain water flows through the village, believed to have healing properties that cleanse the body as the stone cleanses the mind. As the amber glow of the hearth fires flickers through the cone windows at night, the mountain seems to hum with a slow, ancient warmth. Are you reborn as you step through the stone threshold into the silence of the earth? In Kandavan, the mountain is not just a house, it is a living, breathing ancestor. Ascend the 5-story mountain of clay and stand upon the throne of the red earth, where 1,000 years of history have been baked into the very skin of the world. Pueblo de Taos in New Mexico is the epic finale of North American indigenous architecture, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that has been continuously inhabited for over 10 centuries. Built of adobe, earth mixed with water and straw, the multi-storied structures rise like a terracotta pyramid against the backdrop of the sacred Taos Mountains. Geologically, the site is a manifestation of the river and the sun. The clay from the banks of the Rio Pueblo de Taos is reapplied every year, making the village a living, breathing organism of the soil. Visually, the pueblo resembles a jagged earthen staircase reaching for the heavens, its red-brown walls glowing with a primal radiance under the desert sky. This is the ultimate expression of human philosophy, a monument to a civilization that refused to separate the man from the mountain. In the face of a village that has outlasted 100 modern cities, what is the meaning of 1,000 years? The architecture is a symbol of absolute continuity, a sacred act of existence, where every brick is a prayer and every rooftop is a witness. As the eternal sun dips below the mesa, the spirits of the Blue Lake are said to return to the village on the wings of the wind. What is your life but a single heartbeat in the long, epic memory of the clay? In Taos, the earth does not just hold the people, it becomes them. Do not trust your eyes, for the pillars of Wudang are not made of stone, but of the solidified size of 1,000 ancient giants. This labyrinth of over 3,000 quartzite sandstone peaks in Yunnan is a geological impossibility, formed over 380 million years by the relentless erosion of wind and water. This is the real-world inspiration for the floating mountains of Avatar, where vertical spires reach heights of over 1,000 meters, standing like jagged needles piercing a sea of subtropical mist. Visually, the landscape looks like a petrified forest of skyscrapers, where ancient pines cling to the sheer rock faces like emerald barnacles on the hull of a ghost ship. The Golden Whip stream snakes through the base of these giants, its water so clear it reflects the vertigo of the peaks above. But beware, this is a retention matrix of shadows. Locals warn of the labyrinth of no return, claiming that when the fog turns a heavy charcoal grey, the peaks shift their positions to trap the unwary. There are rumors of phantom monkeys that lead travelers deep into the lightless ravines, where the air is thick with the scent of damp moss and prehistoric secrets. Warning: if you hear a rhythmic tapping against the stone where no one stands, flee, for the mountain is counting your steps. Can you feel the dizzying weight of the abyss calling your name? In Wuling Yuan, the earth is not beneath your feet. It is all around you, watching. Why would monks hoist themselves up in a wooden net to live on a pillar of stone that seems to have no connection to the earth? The Monastery of the Holy Trinity, Santissima Trinidad, in Meteora, Greece, is a retention matrix of celestial isolation and vertigo. Perched atop a vertical sandstone pinnacle that rises 400 meters above the Peneus Valley, it is the most difficult to reach of all the Meteora monasteries. Geologically, the rock is a sky pillar formed millions of years ago, its smooth vertical sides offering no foothold for the unwary. Visually, the monastery looks like a lonely crown floating in the sky, reachable only by a narrow staircase carved into the rock or a precarious cable car over the abyss. This is the even why. Even why phase. Why choose a life where the world is reduced to a few square meters of stone? There are rumors of the sky monks who are said to communicate with the eagles that circle the peak. Warning: do not look down while crossing the bridge to the summit, for the Gorge of Silence is said to steal the balance from those who are afraid. The atmosphere is one of profound, terrifying peace, where the wind is the only voice that speaks. Is the monastery a sanctuary of light, or is it a cage made of clouds and stone? Dare you step into the net and rise towards the heavens? Turn back now, for you are entering the City of the Damned, a village that was condemned to die but refused to surrender to the abyss. Calcata Vecchia is a medieval town perched atop a vertical throne of volcanic tufa in Italy's Treja Valley. This is a retention matrix of atmospheric dread. In the 1930s, the government declared the cliff unstable and ordered everyone to leave, yet the town remains, inhabited by artists and outcasts. Geologically, the tufa rock is slowly crumbling, its red and brown layers eroding into the jungle-like valley below. Visually, the town looks like a petrified crown growing directly out of the cliff, its houses indistinguishable from the rock itself. This is the mystery phase. How does the city remain standing when the ground beneath it is officially dead? There are rumors of the silent citizens, figures seen in the narrow fog-filled alleys who leave no footprints and disappear into the stone walls. Warning: do not cross the main bridge after the clock strikes midnight, for the mist of Calcutta is said to erase the memories of those who breathe for too long. The air here is thick with the scent of damp moss and wood smoke from a century ago. Can you hear the creaking of the earth as it tries to reclaim the stone? In Calcutta, the line between the living and the ruins is as thin as a cobweb. Is it a dream or a sanctuary hanging by a thread of ancient faith? At Mian Mountain, the line between heaven and earth disappears into a veil of incense and mist. Known as the birthplace of the Cold Food Festival, this site holds over 2,000 years of history within its jagged ravines, dedicated to the memory of the loyal official Jizi Tui. Located in Shanxi province, the mountain reaches heights of over 2,000 meters, featuring architectural wonders that seem to grow directly out of the flesh of the cliff. These hanging temples and zigzagging sky paths are marvels of ancient engineering, defying gravity and logic. Visually, the structures look like delicate wooden embroidery stitched onto a vertical wall of grey stone, suspended hundreds of feet above the valley floor. The sky path stretches along the precipice, offering views that make the heart race and the mind still. As the soft moonlight filters through the pine needles, the atmosphere becomes heavy with the scent of sandalwood and the weight of centuries-old secrets. There is a profound sense of being got ruah, purified by the sheer isolation of the peak. In the fading light, the spirits of ancient hermits seem to whisper through the shadows, guiding the weary traveler toward inner peace. Does your soul feel lighter in the presence of such impossible devotion? Can you hear the silence of 1,000 years echoing in the wind? At Mian Mountain, the world of noise fades away, leaving only the steady heartbeat of the mountain and the quiet realization that true strength lies in stillness. Ascend the stairway to the sun and stand upon the first mountain under heaven, where emperors once knelt to claim the mandate of the gods. Mount Tai, located in Shandong province, is the most sacred of the 5 great mountains of China. A massive granite block that has been a site of worship for over 3,000 years. Rising 1,145 meters, it features the South Gate to Heaven, reached by climbing over 6,000 stone steps that symbolize the arduous path to enlightenment. Geologically, it is part of an ancient metamorphic complex, one of the oldest rocks in eastern China. Visually, the mountain is a grand monument of stone inscriptions, ancient pines, and temples that seem to grow out of the very peaks. The sea of clouds at the summit creates an illusion of a celestial island floating in a white void. There is a deep sacredness in the ritual of watching the sunrise from the peak. As the first rays of gold pierce the darkness, the world feels reborn, and the soul feels washed, purified by the light. It is said that if you climb Mount Tai, you will live to be 100. The atmosphere is thick with the presence of 72 emperors who performed sacrifices here, their legacy lingering in the cold mountain air. As you look down upon the world from the summit, the petty worries of life vanish. You are standing at the center of the universe, a witness to the eternal dawn. Does your soul feel the majesty of the heavens opening before you? In the place where the restless pulse of the Yellow Sea meets the unyielding silence of the granite peaks, a poetic mystery unfolds. Mount Laoshan, the first mountain on the sea, is a sanctuary of Taoist alchemy where the water and the sky exchange vows of eternity. Rising 1,133 meters directly from the coastline of Shandong, this mountain is a labyrinth of strangely shaped rocks and ancient springs that have been whispered about in legends for 2,000 years. Geologically, it is a rugged granite massif, sculpted by the salt-heavy winds and the relentless rhythm of the tides into shapes that defy the imagination. Visually, the mountain looks like a petrified stone dragon that has come to drink from the ocean, its grey scales softened by the delicate bloom of wild azaleas and the dark green of twisted pines. There is a profound sense of Su Lin Tieng here. The air feels got Rua, purified by the salt and the mountain spirit, leaving the soul as clear as the Laoshan mineral water that flows from its hidden heart. As the morning mist rolls in from the sea, the temples of the supreme purity seem to float between the worlds, neither of earth nor of water. Here, the philosophy of Tao becomes visible in the way the hard stone yields to the soft fog. Can you feel the ancient energy of the immortal's breath as it cools your skin? Stand still and let the harmony of the mountain and the sea wash away the noise of your mortal life. Reach for the hem of the heavens at Sumela, a fortress of faith carved into the very flesh of the Melar Mountain in Turkey. Founded in AD 385 during the reign of Emperor Theodosius III, this Orthodox sanctuary is a geological impossibility, perched at an altitude of 1,200 meters overlooking the lush Altendere Valley. The monastery was built into a massive natural cavern on a sheer cliff face. Its white walls and dark roofs appear as a mirage amidst the evergreen forests. Visually, it resembles a sacred crown, emerging from the grey rock, where vibrant frescoes of biblical scenes cover the interior walls like a tapestry of light. This is a site of artistic depth, an artistic depth that transcends geography, where the humid mountain air and the scent of wild pine create a sensory experience of pure spiritual cleansing. As you climb the steep stone forest path, the sound of the rushing stream below acts like a rhythmic prayer, washing away the noise of the mundane world. There is an overwhelming sacredness here. The soft morning light filters through the rock arches, illuminating the ancient dust and the faces of saints in a golden glow. It is a place where the earth has offered its most hidden cave to the sky, inviting the soul to find its way back to the primordial source of peace. Can you feel the ancient whispers of the monks as they echo through the stone corridors? In the silence of Sumela, the boundary between the mortal and the divine is as thin as the mountain mist. Turn back now, for the air you breathe at Mount Wudang is thick with a power that has crushed the spirits of the weak for centuries. This is not just a mountain. It is the forbidden cradle of Taoist martial arts and the legendary birthplace of Tai Chi. Located in Hubei province, this UNESCO World Heritage Site features a sprawling architectural complex built during the Ming Dynasty, designed to mirror the celestial harmony of the universe. The highest point, the Golden Hall, sits atop the Great Celestial Peak at 1,612 meters, a structure made entirely of gilded bronze that has survived lightning strikes and storms for over 600 years. Visually, the mountain resembles a colossal, sleeping turtle, a symbol of longevity. carrying a city of temples on its rugged back. The stone steps are worn smooth by the feet of 1,000,000 warriors and monks, winding through ancient cypress forests that seem to whisper combat secrets in the wind. But beware the silence of the forbidden city at the summit. Rumors persist of shadow monks who still guard the secret scrolls in the dead of night, their movements faster than the human eye can track. It is said that the eternal flame inside the Golden Hall is fueled by the spirits of the mountain itself. If the flame flickers toward you, it is a sign that the mountain has judged your heart unworthy. Do not speak a word above a whisper, or you may wake the ancient energy that sleeps beneath the stone. Can you feel the invisible weight of 1,000 years of kung fu watching your every step? Can you truly trust a thin, transparent sheet of glass to hold your entire existence over a terrifying drop of 1,000 meters? At Baishi Mountain in Hebei province, the line between life and a screaming plunge into the void is only a few centimeters thick. Known for its unique white marble cast geology, the mountain features the longest and highest glass skywalks in China, clinging to vertical cliffs that defy the laws of physics. The peak reaches an elevation of 2,096 meters, where the white rock towers rise like the bleached ribs of an ancient titan. Visually, the mountain looks like a forest of white marble swords, piercing the heavens, their sharp edges often shrouded in Buddha's light and swirling clouds. The contrast between the brilliant white stone and the deep green of the pine forests creates a landscape that feels alien and inhospitable. As you walk the path of fear, the wind howls through the narrow gaps in the rock, sounding like the screams of those who dared to look down. Rumors among the mountain guides speak of ghostly whispers heard on the glass bridge during the transition from dusk to dark. Voices that urge you to take just one more step toward the edge. They warn that if you feel a sudden chill on your neck, it is the mountain testing your resolve. The glass may hold your weight, but can it hold your fear? If your mind cracks before the glass does, the abyss will claim what remains of your courage. How much do you value your life when the ground disappears? Step into the gateway of the heavens, where the physical world ends and the ethereal begins. Mount Tianmen, located in the Zhangjiajie region of Hunan, is a geological marvel, standing 1,518 meters tall, famous for the Tianmen Cave, the highest natural water-eroded arch in the world. This massive hole in the mountain was formed in the year 263 AD, when a large portion of the cliff collapsed, creating a door that looks like it was carved by a giant's sword. To reach this portal, visitors must ascend the 999 steps to heaven, a grueling climb that represents the supreme number in Chinese culture. Visually, the mountain is a masterpiece of karst topography, with its famous 99 Bends Road snaking up the mountainside like a white dragon coiled in the greenery. The sight of the sun shining through the massive archway creates a beam of light so intense it feels like a divine benediction. There is a deep sense of national pride and Niamtinenang, gentle belief. Here, as locals believe that walking through the archway brings good fortune and a long life. It is a common saying that one who reaches Tianmen Cave has touched the hem of God's garment. As the soft mountain breeze carries the scent of wild orchids, your heart swells with a quiet peace. This is a place where the earth reaches out to touch the sky, reminding us that there is beauty in every struggle. May your journey upward be as steady as the stone beneath your feet. Witness the deepest scar on the face of the earth, a place where the planet's heart beats with a terrifying and magnificent rhythm. The Yarlung Zangbo Grand Canyon in Tibet is a geological titan, stretching over 500 kilometers and reaching depths of more than 6,000 meters, making it significantly deeper than the Grand Canyon in America. Formed by the relentless power of the Yarlung Zangbo River as it cuts through the Himalayas, this canyon is a world of extremes, ranging from high-altitude glaciers to lush, tropical jungles at its base. Visually, it looks like a colossal emerald dragon, winding through a fortress of snow and ice, its roar echoing through the narrowest passages where the sun rarely reaches. This is the Trumkhoesuti, the epic climax of terrestrial geography, where the raw forces of creation and destruction are visible in every cliff and rapid. Standing at the edge of the Great Bend, where the river turns around the Namcha Barwa Peak, one is forced to confront the philosophy of human existence. In the face of a canyon that has spent millions of years carving its path through the hardest rock, what is the value of a single human life? It is a place that demands a total surrender of the ego, a realization that we are but a brief flash of light in the long, dark history of the world. Are you prepared to stare into the deepest abyss on Earth and find your own soul looking back? Why would the earth bleed so profusely every autumn, turning an entire mountain range into a sea of fire and crimson? Guangwu Mountain in Sichuan poses this even why question to all who witnessed its transformation. This spectacular karst landscape is famous for its 800 square kilometers of red leaves, a biological phenomenon where the forests turn a violent shade of scarlet as the temperature drops. Geologically, it is a complex terrain of deep limestone gorges, natural stone bridges, and hidden underground rivers that have been carved over millions of years. Visually, the mountain looks like a colossal, burning ember, dropped into the heart of the Daba Mountains, its red canopy contrasting sharply against the grey limestone rocks and white mountain mists. The sight of the red leaves falling into the emerald pools of the Mekang Ancient Road creates an artistic masterpiece that feels too vibrant to be real. However, beneath the beauty lies a question of history. Why do the winds here carry the sound of clashing swords and ancient war cries? Locals believe the red color is not from the trees, but from the spirits of the warriors of the Three Kingdoms era who still haunt the narrow passes. This is the retention matrix, where the beauty is a mask for the restless memories of the soil. As the mist settles over the crimson hills, the mountain asks, "Are you a guest of the forest or a ghost in the making?" Witness the epic climax of the Earth's crimson fury, where the mountains rise like the solidified flames of a forgotten sun. Langshan in Yunnan is the epic finale of the Dangxia landforms, a spectacular complex of 6 major scenic areas where the red sandstone has been sculpted into breathtaking, colossal shapes. Reaching an elevation of 818 meters, at its highest point, the landscape is dominated by the Camel Peak and the Chili Peak, massive monoliths of deep red stone that pierce the emerald canopy of the surrounding forests. Geologically, these are the remnants of ancient river basins, elevated and eroded over 100 million years into vertical rocks and deep, shadowed, narrow valleys. Visually, the mountain resembles a series of majestic ruby-colored monuments, guarded by a perpetual sea of clouds that rolls across the red ridges like a celestial tide. This is the place for the ultimate human philosophy, where the sheer scale of the rock forces us to confront our own brief existence. As the sun sets, casting a long, fiery shadow over the Fuyi River, the mountain asks a silent, heavy question. What is the meaning of a human life compared to the slow, patient breath of the red stone? Standing at the edge of the Whaleback Ridge, the ego is crushed by the weight of the infinite, replaced by a realization that we are but small travelers in a vast, ancient dream. Are you prepared to face the magnitude of your own insignificance? Witness the epic resurrection of a world born from fire and sculpted by the tears of time. The Danding Mountains in Zhejiang are a geological masterpiece of the Cretaceous period, formed by massive volcanic eruptions over 120 million years ago. This is not just a mountain range, it is a frozen explosion of rhyolite, where molten lava once flowed into the shapes of dragons and demons. Rising over 1,150 meters, Danding is unique for its double bamboo shoot peaks and the breathtaking Lingfeng night scenery, where the mountains change shape as the sun sets. Visually, the landscape is a rhythmic dance of vertical cliffs, jagged spires, and hidden waterfalls like the Big Dragon Waterfall, which plunges 197 meters like a silver thread from the sky. It looks as if a celestial artist took a brush of fire and painted a skyline of stone. This is the Trum Khoi Su Thi, the epic climax of natural architecture, where the history of the earth is written in every layer of ash and stone. As you stand beneath the towering cliffs at midnight, the silhouettes look like ancient gods returning to reclaim their throne. The mountain forces you to confront the philosophy of change, that even the hardest stone was once liquid fire, and even the greatest fire must eventually cool into silence. What part of your own life is currently in the heat of transformation? In the presence of Yandang, we realize that we are but a single heartbeat in the long, epic life of the planet. Enter a city where humanity has returned to the womb of the earth, a place where the houses are the bones of the mountain itself. The Sassi di Matera in Italy is one of the oldest continuously inhabited settlements in the world, a labyrinth of cave dwellings carved into the calcarenite rock of a massive canyon. For over 9,000 years, civilizations have sought refuge in these artistic depth caverns, creating a troglodyte dreamscape that defies the passage of time. Visually, the city looks like a pale stone honeycomb, rising from the edge of the Gravina Gorge, its winding alleys and rock-cut churches creating a landscape that feels both prehistoric and eternal. The light here is extraordinary. At dusk, the 1,000 windows of the Sassi glow like embers in the dark grey stone, turning the entire valley into a cathedral of shadows. There is a profound sense of sacredness and cleansing here. Walking through the narrow passages, the scent of ancient dust and cold stone purifies the senses, stripping away the complications of the modern world. It is a place of rebirth, where the resilience of the human spirit is etched into every cavern wall. As you stand in the silence of the Caveoso district, the air feels heavy with the secrets of 100 generations. Can you hear the heartbeat of the earth vibrating through the stone floors? In Matera, the mountain and the man have become one, a testament to the beauty of survival. Witness the epic final boss, the epic finale of the Himalayan rocks, where a white fortress of faith clings to a vertical grey wall, 900 meters above the Paro Valley. Paro Taksang, or the Tiger's Nest, is the spiritual heart of Bhutan. Built in 1692 around the sacred cave, where Guru Rinpoche is said to have meditated for 3 years, 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days. This is a landscape of terrifying beauty, where the monastery seems to grow directly out of the granite cliff like a divine barnacle. Geologically, it is a fortress of stone and sky, reachable only by a grueling path that winds through ancient pine forests draped in Spanish moss. Visually, the site is a masterpiece of verticality. Its golden roof and whitewashed walls glow like a beacon against the dark, jagged precipice. This is the realm of human philosophy, where the precarious position of the temple forces a question about the nature of our existence. In the face of a mountain that has stood since the dawn of time, what is the value of a single human life? The monastery is a symbol of our spiritual ambition, a small, beautiful act of devotion against the crushing weight of the abyss. As the clouds swirl around, the prayer flags and the sound of the waterfall echoes through the gorge, the soul is laid bare. Are you prepared to stare into the void and find your own strength? Navigate the canyons of the ancients and feel the cold grip of history as you climb the wooden ladders into the heart of the volcanic cliff. Bandelier National Monument in New Mexico is a retaining matrix of ancestral intrigue, where the ancestral Pueblo people carved cavates, small rooms, into the soft volcanic tuff of the Frijoles Canyon walls. Dating back over 11,000 years, the geology here is a layer cake of ash and rock from massive prehistoric eruptions. Visually, the canyon walls look like a giant petrified sponge, with thousands of dark, circular holes where families once lived and worked. This is the action and mystery phase. Why are the rooms so small? And what were they hiding from in the safety of the heights? There are rumors of the flute player's echo, a sound heard at dusk that mimics the music of the ancient ones, although no musician is present. Warning: do not enter the kivas without permission of the wind, for the local tribes warn that the spirits of the ancestors still gather there to protect the land. There is a chilling belief that the skinwalkers roam the higher mesas, watching those who disrespect the ancient dwellings. It is said that the tough rock remembers every hand that touched it. Can you feel the phantom pulse of the village as you stand in the narrow, rock-cut doorways? In the silence of Bandelier, the shadows have a memory of their own. How could two brothers spend 22 years hauling materials to the top of a 300-meter needle of stone just to build a sanctuary for the clouds? Monasterio de Varlam, the second largest monastery in the Meteora complex of Greece, is a matrix of retention that challenges the limits of human perseverance. Founded in the 14th century by the hermit Varlam and and later expanded in 1541, this architectural miracle sits atop a vertical sandstone pillar, formed millions of years ago by prehistoric river activity. Geologically, the rock is a smooth, sheer monolith that offered no path to the summit until modern steps were carved. For centuries, the only way up was via a rope net and a wind-powered winch. Visually, the monastery resembles a celestial fortress floating on an island of grey granite, its terracotta roofs and whitewashed walls glowing against the deep blue of the Thessaly sky. This is the mystery phase of the Matrix. Why did the monks choose a life where a single frayed rope was the only thing between them and the abyss? There are rumors of the invisible winch, claiming that at night, the sound of the pulleys can still be heard turning even when no one is being lifted. Warning: if you stand at the edge of the old net platform, do not close your eyes, for the wind of the void is said to mimic the feeling of falling. The air here is thin and carries the scent of ancient incense and weathered stone. Does your soul have the strength to trust the invisible threads that hold this world together? In Varlam, faith is the only bridge that never breaks. Look upon the face of 50,000 Buddhas and feel the artistic depth of a mountain that has been transformed into a staircase of divinity. The Yunnan grottos in Shanxi province are a masterpiece of 5th century Buddhist art, featuring 252 caves carved into the sandstone rocks of the Wuzhou Mountains. Built during the Northern Wei dynasty, this site represents the first peak of Chinese stone carving, where the rock was treated as a canvas for the infinite. Geologically, the soft sandstone allows for incredible detail, from the massive 17-meter-tall sitting Buddha to tiny, intricate murals of celestial dancers. Visually, the cliffside resembles a giant stone honeycomb, with each cell housing a golden or painted deity staring out over the river with eyes of timeless compassion. This is a place of profound sacredness. The play of light as the sun moves across the cave openings creates a spiritual cleansing, a cleansing of the senses, as the shadows reveal different faces of the divine. There is a sense of cosmic harmony in the symmetry of the caves, reflecting the ancient belief that the mountain is the body of the universe. As the golden light of the afternoon touches the weathered sandstone, the statues appear to glow with an inner fire, offering a message of peace that has survived 1,000 winters. It is a sanctuary where the hard earth has been softened by the power of faith and the elegance of the brush. Can you hear the silent mantra echoing through the stone galleries? In Yunnan, the mountain is no longer a barrier. It is a gateway to enlightenment. descend into the Kidron Valley and witness a white fortress of silence that has guarded the desert's soul for 1,500 years. The monastery of Mar Saba in the Judean wilderness is a masterpiece of artistic depth, built into the sheer limestone walls of a canyon that feels like the edge of the world. Founded by Saint Sabas in the 5th century, this Orthodox sanctuary is a labyrinth of tiered terraces, blue-domed churches, and cells hewn directly into the cliff. Geologically, the site is a harsh, vertical landscape of pale, yellow stone, where the heat of the desert is held at bay by the thick, ancient walls. Visually, the monastery looks like a cluster of white pearls scattered across a jagged, sun-bleached scar in the earth, its precarious position representing the ultimate flight from the mundane. There is a profound sense of sacredness and cleansing here. The strict exclusion of women and the preservation of ancient traditions create an atmosphere of intense spiritual purity. As the morning light hits the golden crosses atop the domes, the canyon is filled with a holy chill that cleanses the spirit of its modern distractions. The silence is absolute, broken only by the rhythmic strike of the sementron calling the monks to prayer. It is a place where the void of the desert is filled with the presence of the divine, a sanctuary where the spirit is sharpened by the wind and the sun. Can you feel the weight of 15 centuries of prayer in the desert air? Witness the prestigious start of a world where the earth has been hollowed out to hide the secrets of the early saints. Gurim in Cappadocia, Turkey, is a geological and historical masterpiece of classical and scientific significance. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is famous for its Ferry chimneys, tall, cone-shaped rock formations of volcanic tuff that were created by ancient eruptions and later sculpted by erosion. Between the 4th and 13th centuries, Christians fleeing persecution carved an entire city into this soft stone, including dozens of rock-cut churches decorated with stunning Byzantine frescoes. Geologically, the tuff is a natural insulator, maintaining a constant temperature regardless of the harsh Anatolian seasons. Visually, the landscape looks like a lunar dream, with hundreds of dark doorways and windows pockmarking the pale, undulating stone towers. This is a site of immense national pride and gentle faith, as the local people have lived in these cave homes for generations, treating the rock as a living member of the family. As the soft light of the morning sun illuminates the interior of the dark church, showing the vivid blues and golds of the ancient murals, a sense of profound stability takes hold. It is a place that proves that even in the softest stone, one can carve an unshakable legacy. Can you feel the ancient wisdom of the earth cool your skin as you step into the heart of a fairy chimney? In Gurame, the mountain is the guardian of history. Prepare to face the rose-red giant of the desert, a monument so vast it makes the very sky feel small. At Deir, known as the Monastery in Petra, Jordan is a retention matrix of Nabatean ambition, carved directly into a mountain of sandstone in the 1st century BC. Standing 47 meters tall and 48 meters wide, this is not a building, but a sculpture on a titanic scale. How could a desert tribe carve such perfect symmetry into a sheer cliff using only hand tools? Geologically, the sandstone is a tapestry of reds, yellows, and purple. Its soft layers allow for intricate detail, but also hide the secrets of its creators. Visually, the monument looks like a celestial palace emerging from the dust, its massive urn and columns shimmering in the harsh Arabian sun. This is the mystery phase. Why was this monastery built so high and so far from the city center? There are rumors of the Jinn of the high place, spirits who guard the entrance and play tricks on the minds of weary travelers. Warning, do not stay on the plateau after the sun disappears, for the desert wind is said to carry the voices of the ancient stone cutters, demanding to know why you have disturbed their rest. The air here is thin and tastes of salt and ancient dust. Do you feel the weight of the desert's gaze upon you? In the presence of Ad-Dair, you are but a grain of sand in a storm of history. Stand above the clouds in the lost city of the Incas, where the granite peaks of the Andes hold a secret written in the language of the stars. Machu Picchu, rising to 2,130 meters above the Urubamba River Valley in Peru, is a 15th century masterpiece of urban design and geological harmony. Built at the height of the Inca Empire, its massive stone structures are fitted together with such precision that not even a knife blade can pass between them. A feat of artistic depth that has survived centuries of earthquakes and storms. Visually, the city is an emerald and grey jigsaw of terraces, temples, and plazas, cradled between the jagged Huayna Picchu and the towering Machu Picchu peaks. The sight of the sunrise striking the Intihuatana stone, the hitching post of the sun, is a spiritual washing of such intensity that it leaves the observer in a state of absolute reverence. This is the sacred in its crudest form. The air is thin and holy, carrying the energy of a civilization that saw the mountains like living gods. As the clouds drift through the stone doorways, you are reminded that you are standing in a sanctuary where time has been paused by the heavens. Does your soul recognize the cosmic rhythm of the sun as it touches the ancient granite? In the presence of this high-altitude dream, what remains of your worldly fears? You are walking through a city made of light and memory, where the heart finds its true center. Do not trust your eyes, for the pillars of Yuan are not made of stone, but of the solidified size of 1,000 ancient giants. This labyrinth of over 3,000 quartzite sandstone peaks in Yunnan is a geological impossibility, formed over 380 million years by the relentless erosion of wind and water. This is the real-world inspiration for the floating mountains of Avatar, where vertical spires reach heights of over 1,000 meters, standing like jagged needles piercing a sea of subtropical mist. Visually, the landscape looks like a petrified forest of skyscrapers, where ancient pines cling to the sheer rock faces like emerald barnacles on the hull of a ghost ship. The Golden Whip stream snakes through the base of these giants, its water so clear it reflects the vertigo of the peaks above. But beware, this is a retention matrix of shadows. Locals warn of the labyrinth of no return, claiming that when the fog turns a heavy charcoal gray, the peaks shift their positions to trap the unwary. There are rumors of phantom monkeys that lead travelers deep into the lightless ravines, where the air is thick with the scent of damp moss and prehistoric secrets. Warning: if you hear a rhythmic tapping against the stone where no one stands, flee, for the mountain is counting your steps. Can you feel the dizzying weight of the abyss calling your name? In Yuan, the earth is not beneath your feet. It is all around you, watching.